Welcome to Marketing Strategies with Audrey Kirchner, sponsored by Inkyma, taking your small business to the next level with proven creative solutions designed to grow your awareness and connect to your customers. Now, here's Audrey.
This is Audrey Kirchner, the co-founder and chief marketing strategist here at Inkyma. Inkyma is what you call a full-service marketing agency. We bring that big agency feel and process to small businesses. And we provide marketing strategy, branding, website design and hosting, content marketing, search engine optimization for our sites, social media, and digital advertising. To learn more about what we do, ask us a question, or to schedule a marketing evaluation, go to our website, inkyma.com. That's INKYMA.com. So if you haven't listened to the show before, no worries. You can just go back and listen to the podcast because we've already talked about marketing strategy and we've talked about branding. You can listen to those on my website, Podbean, and we're also on Spotify. And we have a bunch of other channels coming in the weeks and months ahead. So today we have a guest with us. We have Scott Gill from Adam & Sons Auto Plaza. Scott, welcome to the show. Tell all of us a little bit about you and about Adam & Son.
Sure. My name's Scott Gill. I'm the brand manager for Adam & Son Auto Plaza. Been with Adam & Son a little over a year. Adam & Son is a full service and repair mechanic shop. So there's really nothing that we cannot do from a mechanical standpoint. We also buy, sell, and trade vehicles. So we have a car sales location, and then we do auto details as well. On top of that, we have two locations. Both locations have a U-Haul in there, so that brings a lot of fresh new customers in. And then we also sell propane at our Briargate location. So the two locations, Briargate and Union, that one's been in town since 1999. And then the Austin Bluffs location is relatively new. We've been in business for about 2 years at that location.
I actually take my car to Briargate. I love the facility. I feel like I'm walking into a bank. It's really nice, cushy chairs, coffee, snacks. Great service. That's the most important thing. But when you're sitting waiting for your oil change to be done, it's nice to be in a really nice
Absolutely. Location.
So how did you get into auto care, auto service type businesses?
Well, it's kind of a long story, so I'll sum it up as quick as I can. When, my dad, he's a general manager at Novartis Pharmaceuticals, so he was a salesman. So growing up, it was just in my blood. When I went to college, I got my degree in marketing as well as business management. And after I graduated, I did my internship at the world's largest marketing firm, International Marketing Group, at a college close to home. I'm from Kentucky, but I did my internship at Marshall University. I absolutely loved that internship, and I really wanted to work there right as soon as I graduated college. But you had to have 2 years of professional sales experience. I was like, darn it. So I went back to my dad and said, hey, what should I do? I really have no idea. Being my dad, my mentor, and a very successful businessman, I really wanted to hear it from him. So he had told me to join, to interview for Enterprise. I applied for Enterprise. I had no idea what Enterprise was at the time other than cars, and I was like, okay, I like cars. So I worked for Enterprise. I got hired on 2011. I worked there for about 8 years. At Enterprise, I really got into cars. I really got into customer service, but my main thing still was marketing. So I know you're a marketing specialist. That's kind of what I do too. But I really found out what I liked and didn't like about working for corporate America. Enterprise is over $100 billion company. So what I didn't like was being stuck behind four walls all day long, 60 hours a week, being kind of micromanaged. What I loved was talking to customers all day long. When I had my opportunity to go out and market and try and grow the business, that's what I found out. That's when I found out I was an extrovert. That's when I found out I really loved marketing. So then that led me to my next job, which was at Pro Auto Spa. Pro Auto Spa is a local company here in town. I started as the director of sales and marketing there. Pro Auto Spa is basically hail damage, details, stuff like that. After being there for about 3 months, they promoted me to the COO there, and I just took a lot more responsibility. So I started out loving my job being the director of sales and marketing because I was literally always out marketing, growing the business, meeting with customers. And then they pulled me back in because they needed me to, do the hiring, the firing, the training. I didn't like that as much. So one day I went out marketing again and ran into Adam & Son. I was trying to get some of their pre-owned car sales business, some window tints, some details, hail repair. And the owner, Dan Adam, met up with myself and offered me a job that I couldn't resist. So it was really cool how that worked out, how it's always been cars, and it's just everything I'm doing at each location. I've been able to pinpoint what I really like, and now I really think I found the job for hopefully forever, because I market 24/7. I don't really have an 8 to 5 job or a 9 to 4 or whatever that looks like. I don't have a set number of hours that I have to hit or work. I'm just always being the brand manager, the name, the face, and the mouth for Adam & Son, and I love it.
For folks like us, sticking us and doing administrative stuff is like, stabbing us through the heart. So I was feeling it for you. I'm like, because the same thing happened to me when I was at Shearing. It's like more and more responsibility. I'm like, I'm done with this. I got to go work in an agency. But that's such a cool story. I loved your background when you first told it to me. So there are so many different topics we could talk about. There's so many we have talked about. Yeah. But let's talk about one thing that I think Adam & Sons is doing really well and I think is super cool, and that's your Giving Back campaign. Yep. So talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, obviously the word that everybody's kind of tired of hearing right now is coronavirus. Unfortunately, it happened and it is real. And but when that happened back last February or March or whenever that was, we really decided, what can we do to separate ourselves from our competitors? And some of our competitors being, Honest Accurate, Aspen Auto, Tire World, Auto Tech Plaza, the local mechanic shops are really our competitors. It's not really like Firestone or Christian Brothers or Big O or anybody like that. So we said, what can we do different to really pivot, is the word that I was looking for, and make ourselves different than our competition. So back in December of this past December, we decided to create a nonprofit, 501c3 called the Stranded Motorist Fund. And I know you've heard me talk about this a lot. I never knew that working for a nonprofit was such a passion for me until I started helping these recipients. And it's really been a cool thing. So the Stranded Motorist Fund, long story short, to break it down, how it all started was I had a friend who needed to get a battery in his Nissan Armada, and he couldn't afford an $80 battery. And I'm not here to judge, why he couldn't afford it or what put him in this situation, but he had to make a choice, buy his son one Christmas present, the one Christmas present he asked for, or buy a battery for his car so he could pick up his kid and take him to sporting events and go to work and pick up groceries. So immediately at the time, I just said, dude, I got your back. I'm going to cover it for you. I don't care if Adam & Son is going to pay for it or not. I got your back. Luckily, Adam & Son stepped up and said, yeah, we're definitely going to pay for it. And that's where it really started, where we said, if he, who has a full-time job and is a 50-plus-year-old man, can't afford an $80 battery, there are so many more people out there that can't afford auto services and repairs. And auto is just something that you don't really think about much because it's just your car. You normally there's not problems, but when there are problems, it rains, it pours. And it's a big deal. And to get hit with $1,000 unexpected auto repair bill is huge. Sometimes it's more than that. So what we did was we created this nonprofit, this 501c3, in an effort to help, people in our community who can't afford to get these repairs or services out of their own pocket. So it's a really cool thing that we're doing. The majority of the way that we raise the funds are from our customers that come in. If they have a military discount, they choose to put that, $40 discount into the Stranded Motorist Fund. And then that kind of stacks and stacks and stacks on top of each other. And hopefully, by the end of the week, we've raised enough money to be able to help somebody. We also have another angle is our Stranded Motorist Fund partnerships. And this is a really cool idea. We're just kind of starting to format this, but we work with any business out there, and it's free. So, let's just use insurance, for example. We do a video with an insurance company. It's free. This insurance company says, hey, for anybody that comes in during the month of June for a quote, we'll donate $20 of that quote or, of that whatever, that insurance policy to the Stranded Motorist Fund. So in a way, we're helping that insurance company grow because they might, get 10 or 15 quotes that they might not have gotten. And now we get money for the Stranded Motorist Fund. And because we're a 501c3, we can give tax receipts for that as well. So that's a really cool piece of it. And then kind of the ending piece of it is, donors, obviously. Just a few weeks ago, we had a random person like a video that we posted on our social media, on our Facebook page. She donated $10,000.
That's amazing.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
See, I love these type of campaigns because you don't see how generous people can be until you give them the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Until they step up to the plate. And I love these things. First of all, with a giving back campaign, your heart has to be in it, right? If it's not there, then it's just slimy.
Yep.
But when you give the background story of it all got inspired by you were helping out a friend, and then Adam and Son said, okay, well, we'll pitch in too, and hey, this is a great idea. When they grow organically like that, they can't help but being successful. So
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really great campaign, and that you thought it through. I think it's amazing that you created the 501c3 because now corporations can then make it part of their giving back without having to create it all themselves. Sometimes people don't want to do the heavy lifting,
right,
but they can still get the deduction for it. So it's a win-win, win-win.
Yeah, and one more piece to it. It really doesn't stop there. One more piece to it is, and this really is kind of the last piece, but it's called the Pay It Forward program. The Pay It Forward program is designed to help other nonprofits, help other churches, schools, organizations, businesses. So what the Pay It Forward program is you're selling oil change packs. So we have 5 oil changes for the price of $110, which is about a 50% discount. And then you have 5 semi-synthetic oil changes for the price of $180, which again is about a 50% discount. Not knocking kids who are selling candy bars or books or cookies or anything like that to raise money. It's all going towards the same cause. But, these kids, students, employees are selling these oil change packs, which everybody needs an oil change, at least one a year. And they get to keep 100% of the profits. So other nonprofits are doing this as well. They're selling these oil change packs. Let's say they sell 10 of the $110 oil change, for 5. In a month, they just raised $1,100 straight cash. We'll cut them a check or give them cash, whatever that looks like. And then they can put that money, 100% of the profit, they can put that money towards whatever initiative they're working towards, whatever goal they're working towards. So it's a really cool thing. We've teamed up with baseball teams. We've teamed up with the Boy Scouts of America. We've teamed up with the Debate Club. I mean, literally, you name it. This can help give back to them and help them achieve their goals as well.
That's great. Doing a fundraising component and, not like you said, not to knock the cookies and the candy and the wrapping paper, but, I know I'll use 5 oil changes.
Yep.
So, and I know there's so many kids out there asking for different things. It almost helps those clubs differentiate themselves from everybody else.
Right.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
I love all of this. So amazing campaign, great strategy behind it. Talk to me a little bit about how you're generating awareness, right? Because marketing really is just awareness. If people are aware of it, they can make the decision whether or not they're going to participate or not, or help someone else out. So what are you doing for awareness?
Social media in this world is huge. So that's probably the number one thing that we're focused on right now in creating this awareness. I know I mentioned earlier, 24/7 I'm working for Adam and Son. So it doesn't matter if I'm at a bar talking to a friend or at a basketball gym getting ready to play basketball or at my kids' soccer or football games. I'm always talking about this. But with social media, it makes it pretty easy. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube. So the main thing that we're doing is these recipients that we're helping, we do have a vetting process, which that's probably the most difficult part of the job is really looking at these 20 recipients a week and saying, oh, we have to help her or him out before we have to help this person out. But during that vetting process, we asked them if they're okay to be on video. And normally they're pretty willing to be on video. I know it takes a lot of vulnerability to get in front of a camera and say, hey, I couldn't afford to put tires on my car. So really thankful that Adam and Son helped. Which that's not really our goal behind that, but our goal behind these videos obviously is to get it out on social media and create that awareness. So
absolutely, but testimonial videos are really, really important because they lend credibility to the program. Because a lot of people look at 501c3s and go, is it really legit?
Yeah.
Are they doing what they say they're going to do? And when you put a person on camera and they say thank you and they made themselves vulnerable because they are so appreciative, that says a lot about the company that's providing the service. So credibility, and that spurs more people to donate, and it spurs more people to sign up because a program's only as good as how many people you can help. So it's not really a lot of people, like, that's what's so touchy about giving back campaigns is you're running the line of, okay, is this pure play marketing? Is it helping people?
Right.
But everything you do to bolster and support that great program is just helping more people.
Yeah.
You're listening to Marketing Strategies. Today we're talking with Scott Gill with Adam and Son Auto Plaza, and we're talking about giving back campaigns.
You know, we did a video a few weeks ago, and it's on our Facebook, called Blueberry. And I'm not sure if you've seen it or any of the listeners have seen it, but, long story short, we got a vehicle donated to us. We put a new engine in it, new tires, oil change, brakes, and we did a detail on it. So we put a lot of time, energy, effort, and money into this vehicle. But, the story behind it is we had a volunteer who is working for Tessa reach out, and single mom going through a really hard time, and her vehicle just got totaled out. So being able to do that and then just present essentially a brand new car to her, I watched the excitement on her little 5-year-old daughter's face when we presented the car to her. It had a big bow on it. She went and gave the car a hug. I was crying. I will definitely admit that I was crying. I was trying to hide it, but I was definitely crying during this video. The mom was crying. We had a few other people there. It was just such an emotional, good feeling thing that we're doing. So it was awesome.
It is. And when other people see that and they see the proof, the social proof, which is hugely important, definitely for the folks that are getting it, but then also to spur people on to help out more. There's actual psychological studies done that when people see other people giving back and doing good things, they want to do good things as well.
Yep.
Which, I think that's all great and good. If what you're doing is making people want to be more helpful, what is wrong with that?
Right. Doing this, we love that it's just us doing this right now, but we also kind of an end goal is hoping that this does spread to other businesses and goes nationwide.
Yeah.
And we could, say, hey, we started this. Again, not to brag or anything, but just to be so proud of helping the community that right now is in need of more help than it's ever been. So it's a cool thing too.
Absolutely. Again, that corporate well-being type of thing. Other companies do it. The big companies like Novartis and Shearing, they always have had these huge United Way campaigns for employees to participate in. But this is so much more out there and tactile, and people can focus on it. So let's say you inspire another company to want to do something, right? What's your advice to them on how to get started, how to generate awareness? Because again, the greatest program in the world, it can be great, but if nobody knows about it, it's not effective.
That's kind of a loaded question, but I'll try and answer it as best as I can. I think we hear the word social impact now more than we've ever heard before. And I honestly believe and think that if you are not doing social impact right now, no offense, what are you doing? I know you're trying to make money. I know you're trying to help whoever you're helping in that industry that you're doing. But if you're not giving back to the community and helping out, what are you really doing? So As far as advice, I think that that's pretty tough. You need to find what makes sense for your business. Whether it's an opportunity or a weakness that your business is having, but really make sure that it's genuine. This, you mentioned it earlier, it was so organic and how it happened, and that's doesn't normally happen that way. But dig in your hearts and dig deep and figure out, what you can do to help the community and go from there.
I think that's amazing advice. And I think for small business owners, I think organic is the right way to go. I had another client. He had a cleaning company. He was also a cancer survivor. And so what he incorporated as his giving back campaign is he would donate free cleanings to people who were sick, had cancer, undergoing treatment. And then he connected himself with a 501c3 to help facilitate that through their organization. In other words, they supported people with cancer with living expenses and helping people shop and getting them meals. And then so he was an add-on to that.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah. And so what we did is, we definitely put it out on social. He had we had created this robust email campaign for him, newsletters, getting people to sign up. We put it there. It was on everything. And then we put it on his website too. It had its own special page so that people could see it, so that they could participate. And then there was a donate button. We didn't do any advertising, but then we also created leave behinds so that at every place they went to, there was a card left with the information on it on how his current clients could support other people.
Very cool. Yeah.
So those are just some ideas of just generating awareness. None of them hideously expensive. Definitely not, doing digital advertising where you're spending thousands of dollars a month. But, something just as simple as, when you're giving them their receipt, something's printed on the receipt for you guys would work because you've got so many people coming in and out of your facilities all day long.
It's a great idea. I love that.
I can't help but think about ideas and thoughts and how
gears
to
are turning.
Yeah, they're always turning. So where do you see this 2 years from now, 3 years from now? Do you have growth goals?
To be completely honest, I don't think there's been really any growth goals set yet other than we want it to grow as fast as possible so we can help out as many people as possible. I know daily, weekly, monthly, we are working and tweaking our application process because that's step one is you have to, if you're a recipient out there who needs some help with services or repairs, email smf@adamautoplaza.com and ask for an application. So we're constantly working on that application process, but I think to have all the processes and everything kind of buttoned up by year one is probably the main goal, to help as many people as we can, really to get out there and find as many of those larger sponsors. I mentioned Sue who donated $10,000. Find a couple of those sponsors because with 10K, we can help 20, 30 people, depending on, hey, is it just an oil change or is it like an engine or a transmission, a larger repair? So really just buttoning up those processes and procedures. That way it's streamlined and easy. We don't have to really blink on it is probably the number one goal for year one.
Yeah, and I think that's such a smart goal because with any new campaign, regardless of what it is, you've got to throw something out there, see how it's working, and then constantly adjust it and tweak it until it gets streamlined because that way when that influx comes in, whether it be donors or people requesting support, you don't get these big kinks in the chain, right? Because that's exactly what could happen. Then someone has a bad experience, and you absolutely don't want that. So I think that's a great year one goal. Maybe a year 2 or 3 goal to get those really big donors is you could do a gala.
Yep, absolutely. We actually just went to a gala this past weekend for a new Catholic school that's coming here in town. And we supported them with donations, and we're going to have them do the Pay It Forward program. My wife and I went with the owner and his wife, and man, at the end of it, we counted it up. They probably had over $200,000 worth of donations. Just people raising paddles left and right, 5,000 here, 10,000 there, and all these auctions. And it was super cool. I looked back and said, that would be really cool to do something like that. And we're working on a few things, just so you know, kind of under the wraps right now, to help create the awareness and get more people involved too.
Well, I can't wait to see those. And talk about a gala. I mean, that's like social proof in a room, right? And you've got all 5 senses geared on this one thing, right? Yep. One person's hand goes up for a paddle, and then all of a sudden 3 or 4 people go up. People are signing up for silent auctions. I love watching that. I go to these things and I like sit there and watch the whole thing to see what's doing best and what's doing not so great and that kind of stuff. And those are really, really cool. I
just met with Michelle Edwards with the Wirewood Station. If you guys have heard about her, she's an amazing fiddler. She also works for Gill Mortgages. She's awesome. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Wirewood Station, but my wife and I went and watched a concert that they put on at the Boot Barn Hall, and it was one of the most fun times that we've literally ever had. And we went into it kind of not expecting it to be that fun, and it was just a blast. So I mentioned Michelle because what we're working on right now is we're going to do a car show concert. I don't have a date or any specific times or anything yet, but we're notorious for putting on a bunch of car shows. Last year we put on 15 or 20 car shows. We had 50, 60, 70 people at each one. Then we had a trunk or treat, which we had over 2,000 people show up for that. So what we're wanting to do is Michelle come in and her band come in. We have a kind of more of a classic, ritzy, nicer vehicle car show concert, and it benefit the Stranded Motorist Fund. So we're really excited for that. And then the last thing we're working on, I'm not sure if you've heard of Mel Austin with Squeaky Clean Comedy. Mel's awesome. He's hilarious. He keeps it clean, which is cool because you can invite your kids and you don't have to worry about anything going down. But we're going to do sort of a comedy show. I'm not sure where it's going to be yet or times or anything like that, but it's going to be benefiting the Stranded Motorist Fund as well. So really excited about those last 2 things.
That is really exciting. So we've been having this great conversation and time just flies. So we're just about done here. Any last thoughts you want to share before we wrap this up? I think it's an amazing campaign what you guys are doing. I'm so excited to see where it's going to go over the next year, 2 years.
I just wanted to say thank you for having me on the show. I really had a fun time. It's easy to talk about your passions, too. So
absolutely.
I challenge you to keep inviting people on this show who have the same sort of passion, whether it's for something different, life, kids, school, a specific, subject or topic. Just wanted to say thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. It was wonderful, Scott, as always, having this great conversation with you. So here at Inkyma, we like to give back to our business community. I provide a free 45-minute marketing consultation to anyone, regardless if you're looking for a marketing company or not. Maybe you want to talk in a little more detail about one of these 5 things. That's not a problem. And then you go and execute it yourself. So you can just go to the website, inkyma.com, inkyma.com, and click on the Schedule a Marketing Evaluation button. And we'll spend 45 minutes talking. If you just have a quick question, then you can go to the footer of the website, fill out the contact form, and then I will make sure that a response gets out to you. So that's it for this week, and have an amazing day.
Thanks for listening to Marketing Strategies, sponsored by Inkyma. Online at inkyma.com. Listen to Marketing Strategies every Saturday at 7:30 on KPPF.